And that's why I'm a Kidz Bop Kid. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to ARTV. My name is John. It's time for another episode of the #1 rated show on all of YouTube, only in Alaska though. It's 7 on Sunday. This show has been running for more than 6 years at this point. That's absolutely crazy to me, but not as crazy as these Kidz Bop covers that we're going to be talking about today. Kidz Bop is a long-running compilation series made by kids for kids, except originally it was sung by adults with like kids choirs in the background. They've kind of had a weird history. They're owned by Razor and Ty, and they put out 2 compilations a year, it seems, at this point. They've even done a few other one-offs like the Kidz Bop Sing the Beatles and the Kidz Bop Go 80s, and today we're going to be talking about 7 of the craziest, wackiest, and wildest, and just out there inappropriate covers that they've ever done.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade.
I gave the wink to the audience. I let you guys know that it was coming, but at number 7, just because I think this is so weird that this is even a thing, because this song already seems appropriate for children, but the Kidz Bop Kids sung the Beatles. They put out an entire record, and at number 7, I just decided to pick Octopus's Garden because, as I said before, it makes no sense that there's a Kidz Bop version of this when it's already kid-friendly. Now, most of you who follow the Beatles or even remotely know anything about them know that this was one of the only Ringo Starr-led tracks. He was the drummer of the Beatles, and he famously wrote and sung this track. Now, George Harrison helped him pen this one, and I've always loved it for its childlike mannerisms and qualities. It's super catchy, it appeared on Abbey Road, and it's just a fantastic little cut. And then we get the Kidz Bop Kids wandering in, stomping all over the Beatles' territory, and I just wonder who at Beatles HQ just approved this request. Like, they get that and they're like, hey guys, hey Beatles estate, hey even Paul McCartney, the Kidz Bop Kids, they want to do covers of the Beatles songs that are already pretty much kid-friendly. What do you think about that? And they were like, I don't know about that. And then they're like, well, they're sending over a paycheck of a few $100,000 with it. Oh, sure, I guess so. I can only imagine that that's what happened. There will be a link to hear the full song by the Kidz Bop Kids if you actually want to check that out. All of them are in the description. But I must say, proceed with caution.
I still see shadows in the room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I miss you and I cannot change you.
You probably saw my number 7 pick and thought to yourself, oh, he's gonna keep it tame on this. These aren't gonna be that crazy of picks. They're not gonna be anything super weird or out there. Why would kids be covering that? Well, that seemed pretty normal. Well, at number 6, we have the Kidz Bop Kids covering Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. The 2018 hit song was actually everywhere and would not die. In fact, there's still memes pouring out with I still see your shadow in my room and everything like that. And here, the Kidz Bop Kids gave their take on it, and what is one of the darker pop songs that crossed over in 2018? It's talking about a relationship getting screwed over big time by a female in Juice WRLD's life, and he's talking about revenge, sulking, and just all of these things that he's gonna do to either manipulate or get something out of it or just get the upper hand. And I never liked that element to the song, even though I don't mind it in general. I think it's pretty catchy. Seeing the kids come on here and just give their perspective and change up some of the lyrics, it's downright dark but fucking hilarious. My favorite lyric change is it's to the point where I love and I hate you is changed to it's to the point where I love and I miss you. And also, of course, taking the cake big time, I can't just leave it at that. The other lyric change here is instead of I take prescriptions, it's I take precautions. Oh my God, whoever writes for Kidz Bop Kids, you deserve a raise because that line actually gave me a gut-busting laugh.
The memory of looking out the back door and the photo album spread out on my bedroom floor. It's hard to say.
I'm sure there's people in some corners of the internet that would pay good money for the meme alone for the Kidz Bop Kids to cover an entire album's worth of NICKELBACK material. And they've actually done a surprising amount of NICKELBACK covers, which, okay, I get that they had some mainstream success, but my God, these kids were really all over it. And this was actually back in the days when the adults still sang, because at number 5, we have Photograph by NICKELBACK. This was lifted from their almost universally panned album that came out in '05, All the Right Reasons, and while the kids do provide the backing vocals and they sound kinda hysterical in the process, an adult male leads this song and sounds like somebody that used to be really country but has actually kinda come around and is trying to get rid of the accent at this point. And then the kids come in and kind of gang vocals some of the sections, and then the chorus, it's just ridiculous. They really don't change many of the lyrics, and they're talking about the fact that, oh, that you're going to arcades, you're getting busted by the cops or whatever, and the only lyric change, and I suppose my favorite lyric change here, is what the heck is on Joey's head instead of what the hell is on his head. Just the sheer fact that they covered Nickelback Photograph is kinda memeable and hilarious in and of itself, but the execution is really what brings the laughs and also the questioning of what is my life and why am I listening to this? Oh boy, we're really getting to the good stuff now. At number 4, we have the Kidz Bop covering Alejandro by Lady Gaga. This comes from her Fame Monster EP released in 2010. And personally, this is one of my favorite Lady Gaga songs, but it is very overtly sexual in many ways, just like a lot of her earlier work was. And that's not a criticism, I just love that. It's an observation. But here on this track, she talks about lovers that she can't really decide between. She's talking about how she just can't be with you like this anymore, Alejandro. And here, the Kidz Bop kids are pretty quick to change up those lyrics and keep them PG, family-friendly, squeaky clean, and it plays out for many, many laughs. My favorite lyric change was them changing the line, don't want to kiss, don't want to touch, just want your cigarette love, to don't want to miss, don't want to touch, just walk away from me and hush. As if it wasn't cringe-inducing enough to hear them singing the verses and chorus of Alejandro, including the "You know that I love you, boy, hot like Mexico, rejoice." Just hearing the kids sing that line already made my eyes roll to the back of my head, but once that chorus rolled around, I knew that something was gonna go. What lines were gonna be taken away from the kids? What could they not say? And as we saw with the favorite lyric change on this one, they really pulled it big time, and it's actually pretty hilarious.
'Cause if you wanna keep me, you gotta love me harder.
Who's down to get the kids to sing a song about hardcore sex and getting fucked harder than ever? Well, at number 3, we have Love Me Harder by ARIANA Grande in The WEEKND, which is about that exact topic. And the kids come in and change a lot of the lyrics because, by God, they didn't get much to work with here. The original song is incredibly explicit, so is the music video, and the fact that they took on this cover just says volumes about the lengths that the Kidz Bop producers are willing to go to actually cash in on popular songs. And they're like, yeah, Love Me Harder, that's about rough sex and wanting it harder, and Ariana is wanting that, that's fine, owning her sexuality, but for kids, can't really have that obviously. Still want to get the money out of the kiddos though that still buy and stream these compilations, so what if we still call it Love Me Harder? And then, my favorite lyric change personally, instead of, can you feel the pressure between your hips? The children sing, can you hear there's something and in my heart? Oh my God, what the fuck? Can you hear something? It's in my heart. I don't think that's where it was supposed to be in the original song. Love Me Harder, the entire track is literally about the tension, the sexual tension between two people and the payoff, the finish and everything. And these poor Kidz Bop kids, a lot of them probably being old enough to actually know what the song is about, had to come in and lay down these vocals, even some of the harmony parts, and just sing about, can you feel it in my heart?
Now you wanna get me back and you gon' show me. So you walk around like you don't know me. You got a new friend, well I got homies.
The rise of auto-tune in the mainstream affected the Kidz Bop kids as well, and they really had to pull out all the stops to get this high production quality cover of Heartless from 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West. That's right, the rapper transitioned into something a little bit more melodic, atmospheric, electronic on that record that released in '08. And Heartless was a song that I always loved. It's very, very catchy. It's not super explicit or anything, but obviously the whole flow on that thing, just remember the way that you're talking to me, oh, how could you be so Dr. Evil, all that stuff. And the kid on this one, it just seems like a 13-year-old, a super nerdy one, actually just behind the mic, they're slathering on the auto-tune. It sounds absolutely obnoxious and pretty horrendous, and he really just breaks out the whole thing, and then the whole kids choir sings, in the night I hear him talk, coldest story ever told, and you're just sitting there like, ha 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 ha. In the end, I'd rather it be lonely than to ever have to hear that again. But hey, any of the people in the audience that actually have kids, possibly, try playing this one for them and see how it goes over.
These wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. There's just too much that time cannot erase.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the epic moment that we've all been waiting for. The biggest cover, the most important, the most epic, the most over-the-top, dramatic Kidz Bop cover that they ever executed. At number 1, we have Evanescence, My Immortal, Kidz Bop Edition. I swear to God, I am not joking, this actually exists. Check the link down below, and I highly recommend streaming this one, checking it out for yourself, just if you want to laugh. If you're in a bad mood and you know the original track, My Immortal, which is about losing a loved one, about the death of somebody, or maybe even the death of a relationship. It's a very tragic song in many ways, and Amy Lee obviously sings it beautifully. I love the band version and everything, but on the My Immortal Kidz Bop Edition, that just sounds weird to say. The kids are harmonizing and singing, these wounds won't seem to heal, this pain is just too real, and it's absolutely so absurd, so ridiculous that it is fucking hysterical. I kid you not, I laugh every single time. It's something that if you just play through it, there is no way you can take this seriously because you know the original song, you know the fact that this is serious, and you probably shouldn't be laughing, but these kids are really out here singing, these wounds won't seem to heal and everything. There's just too much that time cannot erase. And these kids are like 12. What the hell do you know? What do you know about the loss of a relationship or something like that? I highly doubt that they do. But in the meantime, I'm kind of glad that it exists because we get to have a good laugh at it. That's it. We've made it to the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching till the end. I appreciate you dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel for the love of music. Today's episode maybe wasn't exactly for the love of music, but for the love of roasting the Kidz Bop kids and some of these hilarious, wild, weird covers. Which one on the list today did you think was the weirdest? Let me know in the comments section down below, and be sure to leave a like if you do want to see a part 2 sometime in the future. Don't forget to check out my merch shop. It's the second link down below, or else there should just be a merch shelf sitting below the video that you can browse through, pick up some merch, and help support the channel during these tough copyright battle times. Other than that, you can see the last episode of SOS right here, another recent video that I think might make you laugh right over here. Socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.